You know when you wake up in the morning and you come out in your car and it snowed and you go, oh man, I can't see out the windows. Well, somebody gave me one of these devices. I don't know what they're called, but I just call it a brush. And I'm going to show you how you can see out your window when it snows, when you need to get somewhere fast. So they said to brush on the window for the snow to come off. Okay, this isn't working. Okay, I have to come back when I figure this out, sorry. Sam, I think you gave me a broken brush. Man, now you made me look stupid. So I've never been out here, but I wanted to go look at some land that is for sale. And it's about 7 miles off of the highway. So I've been going about 30 miles an hour on this for 7 miles. And I didn't call the people because I don't want to look at it until the summertime. I'm not even 100% sure where it is, but I can estimate from the map that I have. And I just want to see how the road is back here, at least during late winter, and how far this is back here. So, I believe it's either this one I just passed or the next one, and this road's really bad, so I have to put it in four-wheel drive. Well, that's what happens when you go down a way you don't know. So I stopped here because going down there, the road became too snowy, I want to say. I had to put it into four-wheel drive because I started getting stuck. So I don't want to drive any more further, but it appears like this is the property here. And I know it has nice views to the mountain alley. It's 10 acres. There is no home on the property yet. So my thinking was, you know, I have to look into it. Maybe like a prefab. Or I don't really want to like a mobile home. I guess they call them manufactured homes now, because I don't like those long homes. I looked at some prefabs online, and also something called log wooden dwellings. So if this is the property, it's fine, because up until this point, the road was good. This road's not going to be maintained. This is a gravel road. But it is really pretty back here. That's why I wanted to come and look at the land to see if it would be doable. And there is no running water on the property. But what I was told by someone who rents back here is that most of the people here have, you know, water tanks, and you get your water from the volunteer fire department, fill it up there, bring it back here, and fill up your water tank with the hose. That would be okay with me. You have electricity on the property. And like I said, I just have to come back in the springtime and find out exactly where the property is. I have a feeling though it's either this one, which would be fine, but it could very well be the next one over. It could also very well be this one over here. And I'm hoping it's just before this driveway. I assume this is a driveway. It looks like there's a house back there. But I definitely would like these views. So let me take you on the drive back. It's also a bit further than I wanted off the highway. This is 7 miles off the highway. I was told it was going to be roughly 4 miles off the highway. And the main road, which I will, well, not the main road, the main back road, let's call it. That one is maintained, but what it appears like is it's only maintained for the first 2 miles and not really well maintained after that. And you'll see what I mean when I get there. But this is just a gravel road normally. See, this is the first property, I'm guessing, and it was the third property. I think it's one property too far for me. And probably 7 miles down this back road too far for me. So let's see. This is a dog sled company. I know right there, that was on the corner. And if we come out here, this is the back road. I was told it was maintained for the first like 10 miles, but you can tell here this isn't. So I'll just show a little bit of the side street. Here's the other part of the dog sled company. It is really pretty back here. I mean, I get why, you know, what's so attractive with being back here. And the speed limit for the road's 30. And right now I'm going 18 because I can feel that there's ice. You know, I can feel a little sliding. And that's not really good considering this is the end of the winter. It's going to be much worse in the deep winter. And there's a pull-off off here where I will turn off the camera now and turn it back on when I pull off so you can see some nice views. This is a pretty big hill to get out here. And I don't like how there's no guardrails or anything on the side. So I definitely can't move back here. And you know, the shame of it is it's just this one big hill and a huge curve. The road itself is very curvy, but this one hill is just gonna be a pain to get up and get down in the, you know, in December and November and January and probably February. And now here's a hill to go up. It's a shame though, this was a really nice area back here. I think there's like, you know, 3 or 4 houses in the first 7 miles on this main back street. Here's another hill I don't even remember coming down. I'm pretty sure I was going slow. And it's nothing bad, but it's just something that is unnecessary to go through during the winter. I can say that 1,000 times. I guess people will get tired of hearing me say it. Okay, when I get to the pull-off, which is right here. But there was a nicer pull-off a little further down. I'll stop there. See, you can get a pull-off. If you break down, you set up your tent, you sleep in -27, have a party. And see, now we're about 4 miles down, and the road gets clear again. Still got a way to go back to the highway. Well, about 3 miles. But, you know, it is a shame. The area is really neat out here. Oh, and there's a moose. There's 2 moose. You can see them. I don't know if you can see them behind the trees, but they are big moose. It's not moving right now. There it goes. Darn it, not a clear view. And that's a shame. I wish they would go over there in the opening. Maybe they will go a little bit further into the opening. Nah, it looks like they're going back further. Well, I'm on my way again. The moose decided not to come out anymore. We almost had really good video of 2 huge moose. I saw them quite a bit before I was able to point the camera in that direction. I just noticed something moving in the woods. I saw the huge antlers. I saw like the yellowish brown color, and by the time I turned the camera around, they had just moved into the, you know, behind the trees and the bushes. So I was hoping to get a better look at the property, as well as I was hoping that the property would be in a more easily accessible area, you know, with the road. That snow was too deep on the dirt road. That's a shame. And the 2 hills need to be eliminated, and then I would consider it. And you know, the other chances, maybe you get lucky and sooner or later a piece of property, you know, within 4 miles or 2 miles off of the highway becomes available. Then you can say it's doable. I think for the first 4 miles, doable. Definitely in the first 3 miles was. Especially where the moose were. Okay, well, that wasn't a really good look at property video. There's definitely better ones out there, but I can finish it with the little drive now. This I don't mind, of course. This type of road I don't mind, and in the winter this road will be, you know, this part of the road will be maintained. I know who's having spicy chicken wings for dinner tonight. So my hat looks funny, but I don't care. To explain a little bit more, I think you heard in the video when I was making it back there, I think I left in the part where I started getting stuck, and I probably sounded a bit disappointed, and I was disappointed because what happened was I had spoken to a friend here who was also looking for property, and we said, if this property is really nice, we're going to go into it together, where we're both going to buy it. I would get 5 acres and she would get 5 acres. She wants to build her own house, and she doesn't have, you know, we both benefit from each other. If we do it together, we can both get the property in this area. She's originally from here, but she doesn't have enough to buy 10 acres. And I don't have enough to buy 10 acres. But together, we could probably put together enough to get 10 acres if the owner is willing to do owner financing. And you know, I am a strong believer in you can get what you want as long as you put some effort into it. And even if you don't have a lot of money. And we just were talking last week. We met at the inn for lunch. And we just both realized she can build houses. She can hook up the electricity. She can hook up the water if there's water on the property. That saves me money. And in return, maybe I give a little bit more of the down payment. So if we work together, she can get what she wants, which is her own property to build a house so she doesn't have to rent anymore. And I can get what I want, which is to stay in this town. And together we could afford it. So of course there were probably a few of you wondering, what's he looking for 10 acres of land? How's he going to afford that? Well, that's the way I would have been able to afford it. And it is what it is. I called her. I left a message on her answering machine and said, I started getting stuck after the second property, and you have to ride a snowmobile to reach the property we wanted. Of course, I'm not going to do that. She doesn't want to do that. So we probably will still work together and try to find something. It really was pretty back there. I liked how the entire area was surrounded by the Denali Mountain. Might have also been, there's two other mountains that connect to the Denali. I'm not sure if one or both of those mountains you could also see also from there. Either way, that was the first property I looked at, and I'm disappointed because that was really neat back there. And I saw the moose. That got me excited. But there will be more. It might take more time than I thought, although I did believe it was going to take a while anyhow to find something. The advantage also that she has is she knows a lot of people here, so she'll hear things through, you know, word of mouth, or someone will mention to her, did you know Beverly wants to sell some land? I can't find land like that. I can only find it when someone posts in Facebook, and that's very, very seldom. In fact, there's only one piece of property now in Facebook, the one I looked at, and there are a couple of houses that are like 1 acre for $300,000. Big houses, 2 or 3 bedroom houses, which I don't need, I couldn't afford. She told me there is a piece of property right behind the grocery store that is 2 acres for $110,000 with no home on it, because in the center of town it's $50,000 per acre. Go out there with the snowmobile, it's $12,000 per acre or $10,000 per acre. If you want to go 10 miles further outside, it's probably about $8,000 per acre. And if you want to go in that same area 20 miles outside of town with no water and no electricity, it'll be $2,000 an acre. I'm not doing that. I require at least electricity. And the property I looked at today had electricity on the property. I don't think I said it in the video earlier, but you never would have guessed what is behind 6 miles of forest. And I don't think I'm good enough at making videos to show just how pretty the areas are sometimes. And when I drove back there, after the 6th mile, the forest started disappearing, and you had like light forest around, a bunch of trees, but a wide open space. And I'm hoping you can notice this in the video when I'm driving back. But driving the 6 miles through the forest and then coming to that big opening where you can see the mountains all around you and you had nice views in every direction, it was like you just entered another world. It was like a completely separate place. But I would say when you ever see a road driving through the forest, drive down that road to the end of the road and you're going to reach the pot of gold. That was just beautiful out there. Don't get stuck like me. And I haven't even edited the video yet, so I don't know how much of the part where I got stuck in the truck you actually saw, and at what point I put down the phone because I realized I need both hands on the steering wheel because I was starting to slide into the ditch. So I don't know how much you heard. I threw the car into four-wheel drive and into reverse, and I hit the gas and I just slid all the way backwards back to the paved part, or the dirt road. What wound up happening was I spoke to someone at the convenience store where I bought the chicken, and they told me the road ended, and once the road ends, it's just for snowmobiles. I didn't notice that, when I was driving. That's why I was driving slow, and lucky I was. And that's also why I don't go out to these areas if it's too cold. Today it's 36, but it's very windy, so it feels a bit colder. So I just wanted to end with that. I really wish I was able to make a better video so that you could see how pretty that was back there. This was a long video today, and I think it was worth it. I loved making this video. This was one of the most fun videos I've ever made. Probably because I got so scared when I started getting stuck. Have a good night. Have a good week. Have a good month. See you soon.